What is happening, y'all? We back with another reaction video, and I'll be ready to. I almost said God of War. Ghost Rider versus Lobo. Marvel versus DC. Death battle. Now, I'm going to go with my man Lobo, even though I feel like Ghost Rider is going to win. Sorry, it is hot, and I turn my fans down because I'm trying to cut back on that background noise. Even though when I cut it down, when I'm editing the video, it's still like you can hear like a noise in the back. It annoys me that you can hear it, and I've cut it down as much as I can, well, at least with the software that I have, and I everything goes, it's like hot. I think it says the hottest it's been in Illinois ever in recorded history. I don't even know. Shit. Oh, gonna burn soon. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with Lobo because I've been a Lobo fan since I've seen him on Superman the animated series back in like the early '90s, and that was like he was a perfect contrast to Superman in that show. And every time they had him, I was like, "Gotta watch this." I think he was only on 3 times. I know the first time he was on, I think it was a 2-part like episode, or like 2-part series of episodes. It was like him, and then they got caught by, it wasn't Brent, it was somebody like basically like the collector who collects rare things, and then like, oh, he wanted Superman because he's the last son of Krypton, and he wanted Lobo because I can't remember where Lobo's from. I know a lot about Lobo. I don't know like fine details like the name of his planet and stuff like that. But I know he killed off like his entire, because he, and what, it was like a science fair or something. And that was his experiment, killing off everybody. He wanted to be the only one, but he's like unique in his own way compared to like the other people of his planet. I guess you could say he's kind of like a mutant. But, anyway, it's like 20 minutes. All right, Lobo, let's go. Let's go, Lobo. Beat this Ghost Rider bitch ass. Not love Ghost Rider. I wonder, it just said Ghost Rider. I'm going to assume they just go with usually the default Ghost Rider everyone knows, which is, wow. I just had his name in his head and I forget. Johnny Blaze. And I almost said something. I forget the name that I was about to say instead of Johnny Blaze. Shit. Oh, it's hot. Anyway, here we go. Rooster Teeth.
Whether it be justice, vengeance, or the thrill of the kill, bounty hunting isn't for the faint of heart.
Especially when your usual targets are superheroes.
The Ghost Rider, Marvel's relentless spirit of vengeance.
And Lobo, the space-hogging main man of DC Comics.
The main man.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death
He
battle.
punched her. He's like, "What'd you do that for?" He's like, "Didn't want you to think I'm getting soft."
Even at a young age, Johnny Blaze lived life on the edge. Son to the accomplished cyclist Barton Blaze, he was sadly witness to his father's death in a stunt.
Barton Blaze.
But he got adopted by another stuntman, Crash Simpson. It's no surprise that Johnny became a stunt performer himself until Crash's
I have
wife
not
died
read
in a
these
stunt
really
gone wrong.
old comic
Only
books.
now
of the
apparently
characters.
aware that motorcycles can be dangerous, Johnny swore to never perform again.
I think the oldest
Crash
comic books I
got
ever read was like
cancer.
from the 80s. That was kind of my brother's
Even
comic
I don't have
books.
parent issues this bad.
Completely devastated, Johnny refused to let Crash die. Willing
My
to
brother
risk
has
it
comic
all,
books from
he
like the
turned to the one
early
person
80s.
who could fix
He
everything.
been collecting comic books since he
Everyone's
was like
favorite problem solver,
5,
Satan.
6.
Hail Satan!
This was Mephistopheles, one of the many lords of hell who happened to have a special interest in Johnny's family line. To save Crash's life,
He
he
still
cut a
has,
deal
like,
with
hundreds
the
of
devil,
comic
curing the
books.
cancer at the cost of
Probably
selling
thousands.
his soul. The deal succeeded, and Crash was healed, but then he died in, well, a stunt gone wrong.
I mean, he's a stuntman whose name
Of
is
course,
Fred.
this was stupid.
Should have seen it
He
coming.
should have been like, hey,
And after all
how
that,
about you
Johnny
don't
got
do
stuck
stunts
with
anymore,
being
you know?
Mephisto's bitch for
Because I
eternity.
know that you
Mephisto even sandwiched
You're
him
going to
together
die.
with a demonic spirit of vengeance named Zarathos.
Zarathos, ask your doctor if it's right for you or your ex.
What is that?
Long ago, Zarathos was a powerful demon who threatened Mephisto's realm. Eventually, Mephisto defeated him, forcing him into eternal servitude.
And with their power combined, Johnny and Zarathos roamed the world, punishing the wicked as the embodiment of a death metal album cover, the Ghost Rider.
He looks. I don't care what anybody said. That was one. That was a cool
Oh
transformation.
God, that's terrifying!
Well, sure, his visage instills fear unto many.
What? No,
He did
Ghost
not
Rider
look
looks
good
awesome.
in that.
I'm
What
talking
was that
about
Marvel
Nick
vs.
Cage.
Capcom game?
Agreed. Anyway, as the Ghost Rider, he became one of the universe's greatest threats. He has superhuman strength and speed, and his skeletal body can regenerate from
Nicolas Cage is
any
perfect
amount
for
of
that
damage.
part. I don't care what
And
anybody
if
said.
Blaze's last name wasn't obvious enough, he can shoot fire. Oh, but not just any fire, hellfire. The
I'm
best
sure you could have got a
fire.
better actor
The
to do a
kind
better
that's
job.
infused
But
with magic that
for what
burns
we
not
got,
just
he
your
was
flesh,
good in it.
but bypasses conventional defenses to attack your very soul. He can throw fireballs, raise walls of flame, rain fire from the sky, and even conjure weapons and objects out of thin air, such as a demonic shotgun and an infinite stream of chains.
And his badass ride, the Hell Cycle. This baby can look however Johnny wants, but he usually summons it as a panhead chopper. It can respond to Johnny's thoughts, scale walls, and even outrace Thor's hammer Mjolnir.
The same hammer that crossed a galaxy and back in a single minute.
You know, I lit my chopper on fire once.
I didn't know you had a motorcycle.
Well, yeah, up until the fire.
Uh-oh.
Rest in peace, Roadhog. At least you went out in a blaze of glory, like Bon Jovi said.
But while his hellfire and chains are vicious weapons in their own right, they're often used to ensnare the Ghost Rider's victims as he goes in for a truly diabolical kill. Or should I say, a penance.
The penance
Penance
stare is
stare.
basically hell's timeout corner of pain. Ghost Rider isn't angry, he's just disappointed, and he wants you to think about what you've done, and it to hurt. A lot.
Under the penance stare, the Ghost Rider
Oh, yeah, that's when he was
forces
in
you to
that
relive
Incredible
all the
Hulk
pain and misery
episode.
you've inflicted on others
Incredible Hulk TV
throughout
show
your
back in the
entire
90s.
life. No indiscretion, no matter how minor, is safe from the Ghost Rider's
Does
gaze.
Galactus actually
Oh, that
feel
time I
remorse
put ground
or
laxatives in my
guilt?
fourth grade math teacher's
I thought that
copy
didn't
and
work
gave her the
unless
shits.
they
Does that
actually
mean the
felt
stare would
guilty.
give my soul the
Because
shits
like,
too?
I remember the comic
Not
books, he
literally,
did it
but
on
you
the
would
Punisher,
experience the anger, humiliation,
and it didn't do anything. I
and
think he
the
did it on
butt
Daredevil
So,
too. And
basically
Daredevil was just so
eternal
crazy.
damnation. Got it.
But
He
should your
couldn't-
sins be
he
so
felt nothing.
numerous and terrible, the
'Cause
penance stare could
Galactus-
even obliterate your soul, leaving
I guess he
you
could
an
feel
empty
remorse
heart.
because,
The
but he has
stare
to.
doesn't work on everybody though. You might survive if you're blind, don't have a soul, draw power from
I guess
pain,
you could say a
or if you're
human
weirdo
who
like
might
Thanos
kill
who
animals
gets off on that shit.
to
Still,
survive,
Ghost Rider's
might
grab
feel
bag of hell powers
he
let
or
him
she
tear
might
up some
feel
of the
remorse
biggest assholes in
killing
the
animals.
world, and even some of the good guys like Hulk, Thor, and Doctor Strange.
He's quick enough to dodge bullets or even outright catch them in his teeth. He's powerful enough to create
I
massive
don't think I've ever
eruptions,
seen
blow
Ghost Rider
mountains, and
dodge
tear
bullets because
down
you
a
know they don't
skyscraper.
hurt him, so why
The average
dodge them?
skyscraper weighs over
That'd be like
200,000
Superman dodging a
tons.
bullet.
That's the same
Like,
weight as 1,100 blue whales.
Or
Just to
what
show he
it's like.
can.
Oh, I'm gonna write that on her next alimony check.
And given his
He
hellish
like, I ain't got
heritage,
time
he's
for
rather
this.
difficult to kill.
You suck, you
Bullets,
just.
poison, fire, he survived it all. Even a beatdown from World War Hulk just got him even more pissed and extra flamey.
Yeah,
Not
but then he
just
just got
that.
up and left.
Remember
though.
Zarathos? Johnny Blaze isn't simply a host for the demon, but a limiter for his full power. Throughout his life as the Rider, Johnny has constantly battled Zarathos in the mind, barely holding on to some semblance of sanity. Should his will to resist the demon falter, Zarathos can take full control. And
I will say
all
that did
hell
look
breaks
a little
loose.
too
Not
cartoony in the
literally,
second
but
one.
pretty close.
Oh, and plot twist, Zarathos was never actually a demon at all, but an angel of justice. Fire skull head and everything. When he's unleashed, he becomes so powerful, even Doctor
have to read up on it.
Strange
Was
whips
he an
his robes.
angel who
And
was on the
this is
side
guy
of
who pops
Lucifer?
supernovas like Pez.
Is
While
Lucifer
Zarathos
real?
responded to another
thing?
host, they even managed to defeat Mephisto in his own realm. For reference, Mephisto once battled Galactus, devourer of worlds.
Which is funny, because didn't
Stars
Mephisto,
detonated,
didn't they say
galaxies
Mephisto
trembled,
beat him?
and the entire universe was at
Like,
risk, simply
before?
as a byproduct of their battle.
And if Zarathos wasn't terrifying enough, he likes to eat souls.
Of course, the Ghost Rider isn't invincible. Johnny is technically vulnerable as an ordinary human being. Even while transformed,
He said
the
that.
Rider
That makes
can
me
be
think.
killed
I
via
know
holy weaponry.
Lobo
But
is
Johnny's
banned
doing
from
alright,
heaven
sitting
and
pretty
hell.
on Mephisto's throne.
And I've seen in a comic
for him,
panel
even if
on
he's not too
Instagram
keen on being the devil's bounty hunter.
where his
So
soul
let this
was
be a
still
warning.
fighting.
Should you ever hear the rumble of a motorcycle in the distance
like,
and the
while
glow
his
of an
body was
ethereal flame
healing,
on the
as he could
horizon,
heal pretty much
count your
anything.
sins, because the Ghost Rider
That makes me
is
think
coming,
that he said
and
that
may God
he
have
eats
mercy
souls.
on your soul.
That's why I was going with Lobo, cause they can't really die. But can his soul be eaten?
Let's
I don't
turn
know.
the clocks
I'm still
back
going
to
with
a
Lobo.
distant era of sin and debauchery.
The 1990s.
Inspired by the financial success of Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns, comic writers started churning out
Watchmen,
grim and
the
gritty
best comic
superheroes
book
by
that's
the
ever
dozen,
been ever.
like Cable, Azrael, and Overkill.
Yeah, they were badass looking at first, but I mean, what's even happening here?
Yeah, I remember
It
that. That
got
was
so absurd that someone needed to knock these roided out monstrosities down a peg.
The world needed a hero. No, a parody.
Enter the planet Zarnia, once the brightest beacon of peace and happiness in the universe, until its inhabitants were annihilated by a biological catastrophe, leaving only one survivor, the last son of Zarnia, Lobo.
The one that killed all the rest of them. A guy whose name literally translates in Sarnian to "he who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it." What? Awesome! Why
I
wasn't
forget
I
that.
named that?
Lobo is so unimaginably evil that his birth caused the midwife who delivered him to go insane. The first Zarnian to do so in 10,000 years.
Some even think that Zarnia was
So there's been
perfect
another
and
one that's
good,
done.
the universe made Lobo to balance things out. Hey, didn't you say the same thing about me when we first met?
He has a
That I did.
mustache.
Simply put, Lobo was unique and desired to be even more so. Thus, he ensured he was the only Zarnian alive in the universe.
Zarnian,
I
okay.
fragged the rest of the planet for my high school.
Yeah, this because they couldn't
science
say
project. Gave myself an A.
killed
He's
or
definitely insane.
fuck, or
Lee,
that's what he said,
on top.
frag.
Lobo left the desecrated corpse of his former home to become a bounty hunter, probably because it's the only profession that legally allows him to murder.
Don't worry, he'll murder you illegally too. Lobo doesn't discriminate. He even has a special gender
What is
neutral
this?
insult and the name of my next motorcycle, Bastich.
My bite! Dragon bastard!
Anyway, Lobo's bagged some pretty crazy bounties across the universe, including Santa Claus, two near omnipotent
Oh, yeah, I
water
remember
gods,
that.
and even things that don't exist, apparently.
And Lobo's
Mr.
Zarnian
Bunny.
physiology is just as absurd to match. He possesses godlike strength, speed, and invulnerability, so much so that he can tear through
What was
walls
that?
of
Is that from Young
superheroes
Justice?
Like nothing.
It looked like the same
somehow suffer
animation. I
damage,
know this
he
is
also
Young
has an
Justice.
impressive healing factor.
He's like if Superman and Deadpool had a baby, which is a lot more terrifying when I say it out loud.
Did somebody say Deadpool?
No, go away! Ah!
Whoa.
There. He's gone. Whoa.
Wow, I didn't think you had it in you.
Oh, honey, that's not true. Haven't you heard?
No one's ever really got
Damn, I should have shaved.
See you later.
Mustache when it's
I
swollen.
swear to God, I'll kill him someday.
So, you had the replacement plan on that TV, right?
Back on topic, Lobo can regenerate from a single drop of blood, and each one he sheds will actually grow into a completely new Lobo. No, I'm not
What?
making that up.
I don't
No wonder there wasn't
ever
any
remember
war in
hearing that.
Zarnia. Nobody can kill these friggin' Bastitches.
It helps that he's also
People
a
made
super
the
genius
same
who
thing
knows
about
well over
Deadpool, like, how come
17,000 languages.
a new
He can
Deadpool
perform
shouldn't
complex
come
physics
out of, like, he
equations
cuts
in his
his
head
hand
quickly
off
enough to
or
catch the Flash, and can build
It
planet-destroying
just
weaponry out
dies,
of
I
garbage.
guess.
His brain is no joke. He can resist mind control because he's too ornery, and he's got so much willpower he can literally walk through Green Lantern constructs. You know, those things powered by willpower.
And befitting his occupation, Lobo is a master sharpshooter, tracker, and can, by his own admission, deduce the weak point in any
I
opponent.
think I remember that from Young
Like how my
Justice.
shotgun leg jams if booze gets in it.
I would have gone with your crippling alcoholism, but sure, that too. Lobo may be a powerhouse on his own, but he also comes equipped with guns, knives, swords, grenades, and a bomb that he sent back in time, which accidentally killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I remember
Whoops.
hearing about
His
this.
favorite
Or
is his
reading that.
enormous hooked chain. But when his job takes him across the universe,
that from
he hops on his space
the
hog,
Justice
a
League, that new
customized
Justice League
Fast-Frag
TV show?
666, which has automatic machine guns, responds to his whistle, can fly fast enough to escape black holes, and blasts "Born to Be Wild." Wait. How can he sing in the vacuum of space?
Oh, that's where you're drawing the line? Not the time he, say, pulled the alien entity Solaris out of the sky, which is as heavy as a star, despite lacking leverage?
I like how he even admits that didn't make any sense.
Using a small to medium-sized star like our own sun as a reference, Solaris should weigh
He's so
nearly 2
strong, he
octillion
does
tons,
leverage.
over
It's
300,000
meaningless.
times heavier than Earth.
So, pretty tough to bench press. But how about the time he was fighting some rabbits
Oh,
and then
yeah,
he got
he ate the
so
host.
face-meltingly angry that he just straight up ate a city, all at once? Disclaimer, don't eat away your feelings. It's not healthy. Drink them away instead.
Don't do that. But that is trillions of tons of steel and rubble condensed into a sphere smaller than the palm of his hand. By my calculations, that compressed ball should be over 20
Fire.
times
By
denser
my
than a neutron
calculation.
star.
Oh God, imagine that coming out.
This unimaginable strength lets him brawl with the likes of Superman. But that's barely scratching the surface.
Name anybody in DC Comics and it's likely Lobo's kicked their ass. He can even punch ghosts. Sounds like the only thing that can kill this guy is an act of God.
Not even that. After rampaging through heaven and hell, tearing through armies of angels, demons, and what have you, Lobo's bloodlust on a literally
beat,
biblical scale got him banned from the afterlife.
What's that demon's
As
name?
In,
I
death
forget
was
his
told that Lobo's soul
He always
was not
fucking
to
rhyme.
be collected.
So he just can't
Can't
die
remember
now?
his name.
Not in the traditional sense. He's had his head disintegrated, been reduced to a skeleton, even been turned into a spirit that just kept on fighting until he got his body back.
The only thing that has ever really held the big lug back is his weirdly consistent integrity. Namely, he'll always keep his word no matter what. Seems pretty weird for a cosmic madman, but he also loves dolphins and will literally go to hell and back to protect them, so who even knows anymore?
He's not without his failures.
Remind me of
His
Lucifer from
greatest of
TV
which was
shows.
perhaps
Like, I
something
keep my
entirely
word
out
and
of
I
his control.
never tell a lie.
His reboot.
What the hell is that scrawny
People
emo Edward Cullen-ass looking
hated
dork?
this.
That's New 52 Lobo, a serious, tortured, modern
What the-
interpretation. Everything that
why are they
Lobo
even
was
talking about
meant
it? It
to
doesn't
be
even
a
matter.
parody of.
Thankfully, someone at DC developed a sense of irony and literally shelved this loser.
The real Lobo returned better
Like,
than
I don't
ever
even know
and got
why they
back to
even
doing what he does best.
It's not
Kicking
even.
ass across
Is that
the
even still
universe.
canon
He's
anymore?
not just some two-bit alien villain. He's the main man.
Or some
and the
Elseworld
whole
type
universe
shit.
knows it.
See? Someone's paid me a heap of cash for your carcass, and the main man always delivers.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, rev up your engines for this delicious food deal. With Blue Apron.
Fighting in a desert. Oh, where they're away from all the humans so they don't kill anybody. Isn't that sweet? I guess he's not from Earth, so it would make like frag could be a cuss word on his planet or another planet he was on. So like it makes sense, even though I know why they did it, because he was on a cartoon, a children's cartoon, and that, so he couldn't curse or say the word "killed" and stuff like that.
Beatles gaze my bounty. I'm gonna skull frack ya.
I have a feeling that Ghost Rider's gonna win this. Oh, did he just break his Ghost Rider's chains?
You one ugly freak.
I don't think that's gonna work because I like.
Is that a fact?
It doesn't feel like Lobo will feel guilty about anything. Unless it was for, like you said, dolphins and he accidentally killed one. Oh. He walked through hellfire like he wasn't nothing.
Bottoms up.
You about to blow up, son. Yeah, like that is not the end of Ghost Rider.
It's done. About time.
Not yet, scuzzball!
I don't think this is still a thing anymore with the anime. He can multiple Lobos can come. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Eat this, you bastards!
Sheesh. I felt like an explosion that big would have probably destroyed Earth.
Holy fraggaroli. I definitely ain't picking up that bounty now.
Yeah, he about to eat him. Ghost Rider.
To wreak vengeance upon your soul. No.
And that is all shooter. Yep.
KO!
Damn, that was toasty. Wonder what Ghost Lobo tastes like.
Being so absurdly powerful, Lobo definitely held a massive physical advantage against the Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that was obvious. Skullhead
Yeah,
took down
yeah.
a skyscraper while Lobo dragged around a freaking sun. But Ghost Rider survived some pretty incredible things. Almost as incredible as these new shirts from store.rooster.
I was just looking at this
Time and
shirt.
place, Boomstick.
Come on, we gotta eat.
Even World War Hulk couldn't finish him off, and Lobo didn't typically carry any holy weapons, which meant he really did not have a good way of killing the Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but who needs holy weapons when you're strong enough to crush a whole city? Couldn't he just overpower Johnny?
A good question. However, do you recall how powerful Zarathos was? Zarathos was an equal threat to Mephisto, whose battles tore apart the universe. Once the Ghost Rider released his true power, Lobo's physical advantages hardly mattered anymore.
But hey, the main man was super smart and probably could have figured out Johnny's weaknesses. But how is he gonna escape to find a holy weapon somewhere when the Hell Cycle outraced Mjolnir?
Which once crossed the Milky Way and back
Which
in
doesn't
under a
make
minute,
sense.
a feat more than 100 billion times faster than light. More than capable of keeping up
I
with the
mean,
Space Hawk.
none of this
They were
makes
both
sense.
as unkillable as you can get. But since Lobo was banned from the
But
afterlife, how
by
could he ever
their
lose?
own rules of
This
their
is where
universe,
the
that doesn't
fine
make
print
sense.
matters. Death was banned from reaping Lobo's soul, but that doesn't mean the soul itself could not be destroyed. This is where our research surprised us the most. It turns out the Ghost Rider had 3 different methods of specifically targeting Lobo's soul.
His Hellfire could hurt the soul directly, and since it ignores normal defenses, Lobo couldn't really stop it.
With trillions of murders on Lobo's hands, the Penance Stare could wield extraordinary power against him. And while Lobo had a high pain tolerance, he did not enjoy fatalistic agony and unending torture so much that he'd survive all of that at once.
Even if he did, Zarathos could just gobble up his soul for a quick snack. The end. Easy as that.
Lobo was undeniably a difficult opponent to take on, but the Ghost Rider's cosmic might, unholy invulnerability, and soul-rending powers gave him the perfect tools to take out the main man.
That poor bastard didn't stand a ghost of a chance. Sorry, I knew that was a Lobo.
The winner is Ghost Rider.
I did not like that motorcycle in
Thanks for watching this episode.
The
If you
Incredible
want battle
Hulk
music for yourself, you can get it by clicking
series
the
where
link
they
down
show
below.
Ghost Rider.
Also, if you like animated content,
Almost
check
looked
out
like
the
an
new
old
Rooster
school
Teeth animation channel.
bat
Just click
cycle
right
or
over
some
there.
shit.
Got some great stuff.
what? Oh, the Green Lantern. Yeah. I used to have that thing when I was a kid. I had the green, the flute, and I also had the White Lanterns, like White Lantern, White Ranger. Like it was like what's the thing, like kind of like a machete, like that sword he had. And I remember it had like a circle on the end, so you put your thumb in, you could spin it, like kind of like the way he did in the show. Watch that damn show. I didn't watch that show that Power Rangers that much because my dad. I think I said this before. My dad criticized me for watching. He was like, "You watching this?" And like, kind of just sat there and like eyeballed me, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And I just stopped watching Power Rangers. Well, I stopped watching when people were around. And my brother, he made my oldest brother. He made fun of me for watching. He watched this racist show. when a black dude, his martial art is breakdance, and the Yellow Ranger is Asian. And what wasn't? Didn't they one of those episodes? Didn't they say what's his name? Jason, the Red Ranger. Didn't they say like he had Native American background? So I know like he's the Red Ranger. I can't remember if they brought that up or said something about it, but I don't know if he's actually Native American. Oh, that was okay. I still watch that Beetleborgs. I watched all this shit. But anyway, yeah, Lobo. I had a feeling when they brought up that. I can feel the sweat. Well, not feel. I hear the sweat. So I had a feeling when they said that he eats souls. I was like, I forgot about that, and I was at the Penn Station. Like I said, because from what I understand about the Penance, unless it's changed, I read a comic book like consistently, like ran out an entire series since like 2011. So, and it wasn't even that wasn't even a comic book that came out at that time. I think it was like an older, earlier 2000s comic book. But that I just went there and read like the series. But I'm trying to think. I knew when they brought that up, I was like, they can eat his soul. I know that Lobo was kicked out of heaven and like he can't go there. Plus, he has that crazy healing factor where he can heal from a drop of blood and shit. So I was like, unless you completely destroy him on the molecular level, but even then, like I said, his soul was it. I mean, his entire body was just gone, but his soul was still there. So his body had to heal from something. So it has to still be there. So some part had to still be there. But since his body, whatever was taking longer for his body to heal, his soul was still able to fight. I mean, it's all parody. And I don't know, it's just basically like some animes. Even, like I said, even in their own universe, they don't make sense. Like, when you make rules, I'm not like people's like, I hate when people say, oh, this is not realistic and stuff like that. And they compare the comic book to our reality. But I'm saying, but when I say it's not realistic, when I say that, I'm talking about as far as the rules that they made for their own universe. Now, if you make in your universe where anything can happen and there are no rules like physics, nobody is bound by the laws of physics or anything, then I don't care. Like, because I'm like, in that world, anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. You've established that. But if you make rules, especially if you make rules for character, then all of a sudden you just, for the convenience of the plot, you just make up some shit and do whatever just for the plot. I mean, you saw that a lot in the Gold and the Silver Age of comic book. You see that too in Bronze Age. They do it a lot less because I think people are a lot less accepting of that. Because people want to know, why is this like, why does Superman fly? Like, how come it doesn't make sense why he can fly? Stuff like that. And then they said the same thing like Magneto. Why is Magneto? But he can control the magnetic field, which can cause him to levitate and stuff like that. It's like they try to use real world science to say, wow, this can happen in this world. I just said Superman can fly because he can fly. That's it. And not that, he can manipulate the gravity field around his body and all. It's like whatever. Like, I don't care why that. Why can? Because they're like, why he has heat vision? Why can he shoot heat? Because is it some like? Then you start having to make everything scientific, and then a lot of things you can't explain. You can put a theory out there. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's in science that we teach as people think as fact, but they say this is a scientific theory. But anyway, getting off on a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I can't wait for someone to do a debunk video unless everyone feels like, no, Ghost Rider would have won. But I'm surprised they didn't do, well, can't say that because Johnny Blaze is probably more popular Ghost Rider, even with, I always forget his first name, but wasn't it Reyes? he could. A lot of people know of him now because of the Ghost Rider with the Charger. Basically. That's what the Ghost Rider with the Charger. Like instead of a motorcycle, he has a Charger. The old school Charger, like a 1968 or something Charger or Challenger, whatever they call it. I think it's a Challenger. And a lot of people know of him because of the Agents of Shield show now, which I think he was great in that. And now that same actor is playing a Terminator in a new Terminator movie. But, I thought they might use him because they use names that are real hot right now. But like I said, still Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, probably the most famous of the Ghost Riders. So that makes sense they used it. But yeah, you know what? From what they did, the explanation they gave, I said it right. He can eat souls because I was like, I know he couldn't because I didn't. Ghost Rider didn't, and not Ghost Rider. Lobo didn't have really any angelic or demonic, I guess, weapons to hurt Ghost Rider. So I was thinking, how is he gonna beat him? He throws him to the sun or something. But he's still an angel, basically. So what that kid? I don't think that would kill him. Throwing him into the sun. But yeah, just throw an angel into the sun and that kills him. But unless they say in the rules of this universe, angels can't be on the sun, they'll die. Yeah, you could say that. But yeah, I mean, I just think I wanted Lobo because I like Lobo, but I know it's not a popularity contest. This isn't bad in the sun to do things by votes. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed my reaction, everyone. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe and share and comment. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.